Okay, excuse me. I had it going good a while ago, and I messed it up a while ago. But as of right now, bear with the way I look at the camera. Don't think because of the way I look at the camera that I'm not respecting you, my congregation. As if now you might be looking at this like, what is this we're watching right now? Well, basically, you're watching the Christian Hearts Christian Fellowship online ministry, and I'm the pastor, Brother Isaac David Brigmond. I am known as the pastor brother of this online ministry, and what I was going to talk to y'all about right now was that, excuse me, bear with me. I think I got an idea here. Once I try it, I think it'll be better. All right. Okay. Let's see. Okay. What I've noticed about people, what I notice about people is when you start talking about God and Jesus and you start bringing up stuff about them, like you say to them, well, now, okay, give an example. Say if I told you right now that God was supposed to be a deity, would you believe me or would you believe that guy that was talking to you from the gas station down the road and that he didn't know what he was talking about and that you pretty much had your says on this thing? You pretty much thought that, well, God is God and God can't be no deity. God got to be God and he can't be, like I said, no deity. I'm, Now, before we get started, I want y'all to remember. You remember what I said before about I was going to do a Tuesday service, a Wednesday service, a Saturday service, and a Sunday service. Well, that's basically what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to get that started. Okay, now, for those of you that are new to this setup, my name is Isaac David Brigmond. I am the pastor brother of the Christian Hearts Christian Fellowship online ministry, and I am a pastor brother and a soldier of God. Soldier meaning whether you served in the Army, Navy, Marines or not, if you are a true blue Christian, you are a soldier of God. If you take it seriously. Like I said, bear with me. The rules I have that I believe you should go by on the speaking on the preaching on the internet with an internet church is to basically treat the message as though it was more important than the messenger. So the messenger should be less of the issue and more of the tool used to give you the message. The messenger should be a pastor, preacher, minister, father, and he should be allowed to tell you. And without going into great details, I'm going to give you a little summary or synopsis, or however you want to put it, of who I am and what I'm about. Basically, what I'm about is that I am a pastor who was ordained by God. God was my seminary school. God saw that there was a minister, a pastor, a preacher inside of me that needed to burst forth like Banner and the Hulk. I had one in me, and he says, let that man come out and let the world know about him. So I said, okay, I'll do that. And I'll try hard as I can next service, which is tomorrow morning, I'm going to try to do a thing where I have a cross and music playing before the service because I'm trying to update my way of doing things. But I want to, I want to get kind of See, how can I do this? I'm trying to figure out how to do it. My hat, I know it don't look right. It probably looks like there's more of... Anyway, I wanted to start a thing where we call it the United Saved Army. And the motto was going to be Standing United, Saved in Christ, Army of God. And when we finally get us a building church, which I don't know when that's going to be, because that's a future project that we have to endeavor on, and that's something to do with your prayers. And if y'all want to help in any way, just let me know and we'll work something out. But beyond that, it's through prayers and it's through things like that. But anyhow, I want to get into talking to y'all today. Okay, I did put out an update video for the ministry so that you would know the ideas I had for that thing right there. And I know I keep working with this till I'm gonna have it. So okay, now I need to let go. But anyway, folks, let's talk today. We're gonna do some talking and we're gonna do some preaching and teaching today. Okay. Well, today, now, do like I said, when you're watching a video, and yes, I know what this looks like, but I don't believe in evil. I only believe in, you can have things like that as long as you don't take that to the point of and there's coffee in there. Okay, I believe that, and if you believe the same thing, then tell me, that there is such a thing as good and bad, and there is good as in there are good and bad in all things, meaning you could have a good skeleton and you can have a bad skeleton. Good skeleton is like the angel that can look like a skeleton, and then the bad one could be a demon that looks like a skeleton. So don't take that wrong, okay? If you don't make no sense. I mean that if I was to be if God wanted to, I guess he could. He has done it before. I mean, it's been known that God has used skeletons in his ministry to basically say what he wanted said and done. And it's like saying God said that he was going to take a skeleton and use it to teach and preach to the people that didn't know about him. So in this case, it means that there are good skeletons and bad skeletons, one demon and one angel that come to you. Now, if you think that's weird, then explain to me your theory on what I just said, okay? But so that means that having items of a skull in nature does not make you a bad person. It makes you bad if you take those things to a religious level and say that you believe in some pagan god or something, because having a skull, now if you had a real skull in your house, that's another thing. But if you have a replica, that's a different story. Get it? You get my point. My point is, replicas are okay as long as they're not put to the use of evil or the use of bad. But okay. Remember, you will see me wearing this hat a lot. And if the emblems change on it, you'll know if my plan I had worked. But anyhow, let's get into the message. Okay, I've started a thing now where I'm going to be a man that that is a cell phone. Hold on a minute. Okay, let's get back where we were, folks. Okay, well, I'm going to get into a story right now, and I have started a thing where I'm trying to be a man also that gets up. I'm going to start getting up on Saturday mornings and watching a Saturday morning church service that's live, and then I'm going to turn around and try to get into the uh, Saturday service of the Christian Hearts Christian Fellowship online ministry, and then Sunday, and then I'll go to actual church, a building church. So I thought about, being like a weekend Christian. Not meaning I won't be a Christian all the time. I just mean I'll be doing a lot of uh, watching it on TV on Saturday mornings, and then getting into the Saturday service with y'all, and then going and doing the Sunday morning service, and then doing the Sunday building church, like that. But let's get into what we can for now. All right. Now, this morning when I was watching the service on TV, it was from a Seventh-day Adventist church, which I believe that for your Saturday church-going needs, if you do it by TV or building, that's a good idea. But if you also do Sundays, then don't say you're not going to do that. Okay, now, he was getting into a portion of it that, which was Ephesians 4:13. And the man was talking about, he was of another origin. I have not, this is the first time I kept up with this broadcast, so I assumed that he was of another origin because of his accent. But anyhow, and do remember, when my things change on my hat, it means that I have basically finally got what I wanted done with that United Saved Army thing going on. But, and we could, I guess, say that a preacher is also a chaplain, so I could say I'm the chaplain of this church. I'm the chaplain, the preacher, the pastor, the father. Well, I wouldn't say father because God's the father, so we just say preacher, pastor, a chaplain. Let's get into the word. Okay. Let's go down to, if I can find it on here, Ephesians 4:13. This will continue until they are united by our faith and by our understanding of the Son of God. Then we will be mature. Excuse me, I'm fixing to say something. Excuse me. All right, let me read it again. This will continue until we are united by our faith and by our understanding of the Son of God. Then we will be mature just as Christ is, and we will be completely like him. We must stop acting like children. We must not let DECEITFUL people trick us by their false teaching, which are like winds that toss us around from place to place. Love should always make us tell the truth. Then we will grow in every way and be more like Christ, the head of the body. Christ holds it together and makes all of its parts work perfectly as it grows and becomes strong because of love.